Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Baruch Haba. We're continuing in Mishna Berura Daf Hashavua. We're learning Siman Peites. We're still in the middle of Sif Aleph and the Mishna Berura, Sif Katan Vav. The Mechaber is talking about that the Zman of Tfilas HaShachar, the mitzvah is to begin with Ha'netz Hachama, and if you daven Misha Alam and HaShachar V'her Pnei Mizrach Yatza, and it goes until the end of 4 hours, which is a third of the day. If you made a mistake or you violated intentionally and you davened after until Chatzos, you don't get schar for tefillah bismana, but you get schar tefillah. But after Chatzos, you're not allowed to daven. Says the Mishna Berura Katan Vav Avar Ratzalemer Shebemezid Shah Es HaTefillah Ad She'avar Zmana. You intentionally delayed the tefillah until after the zman. Ve'achar kach ispalel afal pikein yatsa yidei chayvas tefillah. Your yoytze tefillah av shahoysa shlo bismana. Likewise, if let's say you didn't daven before 4 hours, so tzarech lehispalel achar arba shois ad chatzos, you have to daven after 4 hours until chatzos. Rak she'ein lo yischar ketfila bezmana. It's just you don't get schar for tefillah bezmana. So not only if you've intentionally davened after the 4th hour, but if you for whatever reason we're not able to, you need to daven after the 4th hour until Chatzos. You'll get schar for tefillah, but you won't get schar for tefillah bismana. That's interesting. In other words, the Chatchila, guy gets up 11 a.m., he has to daven Shachris. So he says, do I get schar for davening at the right time? No. So why am I davening? Because you still have to daven. Now if you hold tefillah as dairaisa, then of course you'll have to daven. You still have a chiv d'oraisa of tefillah. The zmanim are all midrabanan. But even if tefillah is midrabanan, there's like two chiyuvim. It's almost there's a chiv tefillah and there's a chiv tefillah bezmana. So even though I'm not mekayim tefillah bezmana, I still have to be mekayim tefillah. The tov sheyispalel az b'toras nedava. If you're davening after the zman tefillah, it is good to daven then as at nedava. Kiyesh poiskim shasovrim de behezid ad arba shois shuv loimatzi lehispala klal. Because there are poiskim that hold that if you intentionally daven after 4 hours, you're not allowed to daven at all. Who are these poiskim? The Ra'avan, the Pri Chadash, the Gra. Al ken yispal v'yasna. Therefore, you should daven and make a t'nai shemitzad hadin hu pater hu b'toras nedava. Now, some ladies, they get up late. Yeah? Girls get up late, right? Sometimes they get up after the Zman Tefillah. Do the Manhige HaSeminaries tell them that when they daven after the Zman Tefillah, they should make a Tanai that if they're not allowed to daven, it's a Tfilas Nedava?
No.
You mean they didn't until this year, and now they can't handle the Tanai? It's too complicated for them. Too complicated. So that we just say, follow the baseline halacha, you daven until chatzos. Okay? V'achar chatzos. After chatzos, even though, by the way, they give over to the girls every complicated halacha you could possibly imagine. But now when it comes to davening. Okay. Says the Mishna Berura, v'achar chatzos. Mashna Miloshin Harav da afilu take of achatzos also val shachas. It's mashna from the lashon of the Rav. The Rav meaning the Rama, that even right after chatzos you can't daven shachris. Va'adel elkai, and it's going on what was mentioned before. Bein avar b'mezid, oy ta b'shogeg, whether you intentionally delayed or it was b'shogeg. V'yesh mekilin b'hachatzi shah she'achar chatzos. There are those who are lenient in the 30 minutes after chatzos. Uladina mashrin pri begadim. Who are these makilim? We don't know. Doesn't say. Uladina mashrin pri begadim v'dar chachaim she'ein lasosum sakarav. Lahalacha, the pri begadim is mashma not to move away from the psak of the Ramah. V'chein mashrin v'bir hagra. De be'emes kvar higiz man mincha shemaschelas v'tchila sheva. Really, mincha time started. By the way, I want to correct something that I said earlier. That if you see the sun over the horizon, you could daven Mariv. That would only be true if it's after Alois. But if it's any chash that is after nates, you would not be able to daven marav. Okay. But really, Chatzois begins as man mincha. You can't daven mincha at Chatzois. Don't you have to wait a half hour? It's because we're not proficient. Therefore, but fundamentally you're allowed to daven mincha from Chatzois. It's just we're afraid we're not so proficient in the exact time of Chatzois, so we wait another half hour. Al kein amr Chazal. Al kein k'shagagoy nenas v'lo yispalo kadem Chatzois yamtin achar Chatzois chatzisha. Like this. Someone got up late, either unknowingly or he had extenuating circumstances, and he didn't daven for Chatzois. It's now 12:01. What should he do? Should he daven Shachris? No. Should he daven Mincha? No. He should wait another 29 minutes. Yamtin achar Chatzois chatzisha. Dahainu k'dei she'yagiz man tfilas Mincha. V'yisvalo Mincha. First he should daven Mincha. V'achar kach Shachris b'toiras hashlama. He should first daven Mincha and then make up the hashlama. V'loy lahepach, and not the opposite. V'gam davka b'shagagoy nenas. This would only work if it was unknowingly or extending circumstances. Al b'mezid, a guy who set his alarm for 11:50 and he got out of bed at 12 o'clock. Ein loy takana. He lost Shachris. When could he make it up? By the next Gilgal, but not this one. Yeah, there's no way to make that one up if you do it b'mezid. K'mosh yizbar kol zeh b'simin kufches. Amnam b'diavad imispalo Shachris b'cha. The guy said, I'm not waiting for another Gilgal. He says, B'diavad imispal Shachris b'chatzi shazu sha'achar chatzos yatsa vein tzarich l'spal shenis. If b'diavad he daven Shachris between 12 and 12:30, he's yotzei and he doesn't have to daven again. What about a guy who says, you know what? 12 o'clock is ma'an mincha, I want to daven mincha. You're not allowed to, I want to daven. So we're going to see later on, Siman Reish Lamed Gimel, some say b'diavad lo yatsa, some say b'diavad you won't daven again. It's a big suffix. Okay, v'ayin b'chidusha Rabbi Akiva Eiger mashikazav b'shem hatzlach be'inyan zeh. Look what Rabbi Akiva Eiger brings from the Noid Yehuda regarding this. So the Dirshu quotes that Tzlach in Brachas Chavav says you could daven in the 30 minutes after Chatzos al Tnai, that if it's man mincha, it should be mincha, and if it's not mincha, then it will be Shachris. Meaning like this, you ready? What's the reason you can't daven Shachris after 12 o'clock? Because it's Zman Mincha. But not be'etzem. It's not that you're now to daven Shachris. It's you can't daven Shachris if it's Zman Mincha. So we'll make a Tanai. I'm going to daven. If the Zman Mincha came, it will be Mincha. And if it's not the Zman Mincha, it will be Shachris. And then at 12:30, you daven again. And you say, if my first tefillah was Mincha, then this is Tashlumen. And if my first tefillah was Shachris, this is Mincha. Now, this is interesting because it does not seem like the Mishnah is recommending this l'chachila, right? Look earlier on that he says there are those who are mekel b'chatzi shah she'achar chatzos to daven Shachris. Ladina, the Pri Megadim is Masha, don't move from the Rama and the Gra, because since Zman Mincha came, he says, if you're shagag oinenas and you didn't daven, wait until 12:30. Daven mincha and then daven tashlumin. But b'mezid, you have no takana. But b'di'evet, if you daven Shachris in this time, you don't daven again. But it doesn't sound like the Mishnah Berura is recommending l'chadchila, if it's 12:01, just daven one tefillah and make a tanai. If it's mincha time, it will be mincha. And then what I daven after 12:30 will be Shachris. And if it's Shachris time, it will be Shachris. You know what your marviach, according to Rabbi Akiva Eiger, quoting the Tzlach, is that you might be getting an actual Shachris as opposed to a Tashlumin for Shachris. But the Mishnah Berura doesn't recommend the Al-Chachila. Is it because it's too complicated? Or is there a problem with it? In other words,
the proper tefillah.
What?
This happens on Shabbos. You may not daven the proper tefillah. If it's mincha, you're not davening mincha Shabbos.
You can't do this. 1 second. What?
At 12 o'clock, at 12:01.
Yeah.
It's not a shach mincha. The Shemona Esrei. Which Shemona Esrei are you davening?
Oh, it depends. Only God knows.
What do you mean? But there are tefillahs that have different words, right? But
oh, on you want to know on Shabbos? Oh, on Shabbos, you're right.
On Shabbos, that could be why this is not recommended.
Why?
It's a different tefillah.
So you can't do this on Shabbos, but during the week.
Oh, make the tip to only.
Yeah, it is only during the week. The Rabbi Yehuda would only work during the week, right? You're right. You're making a good point. This doesn't work for a Shabbos. Okay, but in other words, isn't this preferable? Isn't it preferable than waiting and then doing Vadai Tashlumin? If in this case you might be able to get.
And Siman Kovches also he does not bring this option.
Mm-hmm. Look, it seems like you're not allowed to daven Shachris after Chatzos. That's the Psak of the Ramah. You're not allowed to daven Shachris after Chatzos. So what are you going to say? You're going to rely on the lenient opinions. Who are they, by the way? The Bach and the Prisha, the Taz, they say you could daven after Chatzos. The Mishnah Berura quotes the Pri Megadim. Ein lozuz mipsak harav. Ein lozuz mipsak harav means you really can't daven Shachris after 12 o'clock. The reason is because it's the Zman Mincha. He says, okay, I'm not sure. It could be because Lamaisa, there's no Tanai over here. It is Zman Mincha. So if it's Zman Mincha, you can't daven Shachris. I mean, there is no suffix. The whole Tanai is based on if it's Zman Mincha, this should be Mincha. Well, it is Zman Mincha. Here's another reason why maybe this Tanai is not great. You're saying like this: if it's Zman Mincha, this should be Mincha, and my later Tefillah should be Shachris. Well, guess what? It's not the Zman Mincha. And you say, if it is, yeah, but the Chachamim still said you're not allowed to daven now. Because Shaloi Ta'u. So this Tanai maybe is not that great. I'll tell you why, like this. You say, if it's Zman Shachris, this should be Shachris, and later should be Mincha. Fine. But if it's not the Zman Shachris, which most poskim say it's not, then it's not necessarily the Zman Mincha. And that means you're davening Mincha at a time the Chachamim said not to daven Mincha. Okay, Yesh La'ayin. Sif Beis. Kivan she'igia zman tefillah, also adam lahakdim lepesach chaver litan le'shalom. Once the zman tefillah comes, you're not allowed to advance and go ahead and go to the door of your friend to give him shalom. Mishum d'shmoi shel Kadosh Baruch Hu shalom. God's name is peace, and you got to use it for tefillah. Avamuter loymar loy tzarfa demari tav. You're allowed to tell him top of the morning. You're allowed to tell him good morning. Morning of the master should be good. Even this, even this is only permitted if you had to go there to see some kind of business. But if you're only going there to say hello, even this lashon is asur. Let's see the Mishnah Berura. Zman tefillah. Hainu me amar hashachar. That's from Amar HaShachar. V'ayim v'alacha b'sif aleph. Lahaktim. it's not only to be makdim to your friend's door. Like this, you sit in the front. Some guy showed up, you haven't seen him in 6 months, he's sitting in the back. You cannot go to the back of the shul and say Shalom Aleichem. It's prohibited. Yeah, but I want to be friendly. You're the grouchiest guy the rest of the day. Don't be friendly now all of a sudden. No friendliness. Wrong time to be friendly. You have the rest of the day to be friendly. You can't greet someone before tefillah. Again, this is talking about either to go to his house or to leave your makam kavua and go to his makam to say shalom. It says in Mishna, even your father or your Rebbe. But if you're afraid of the animosity of a powerful guy, just give him your hand. He's going to say, why do I want your hand? What am I going to do with your hand? Well, that's what you should do. And if you happen to bump into him, you can be makel if he's a powerful guy to say shalom. Because even without gavra alama, if you happen to meet someone on the way, you could say shalom meikradin kol kaman kain nirali. So it would seem to me. Okay, Rabbi Isai, we'll hold over here. We'll pick it up tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Recording stopped.